like folks are realizing like content is needed
Yeah.
for their either their personal brand, their companies, whatever. It's just like content is king right now. Like
Yeah.
it's just a way to expand storytelling and continue to share your story. So yeah, it's just like
Yeah.
it's super needed. So
Yeah.
it's an exciting time for content creators
Yeah,
for sure.
and I think that was something I was observing when I was in crypto and building communities for other founders. It's like a lot of them who, it's like the popular founders were getting the funding, the ones who were making the content, the ones who were in the trenches, like trying to figure this out, going to the conferences and meeting people.
Yeah.
Those are the ones who I was seeing a lot of success, and so I was just like, hey, if they're doing it, I can do it. Like we can figure it out. And so I think that's like, don't wait for your homies to get big to support them. Show up.
Say
Like the
that.
post, retweet, edit, introduce, do whatever you can to help your friend who's really making it, and just don't wait for it to be cool to support them.
For
Like
real.
just don't be that person,
Because
because
like content creator, like being a content creator that's like a legitimate job.
Yeah.
Like that is.
Yeah.
We're past the point of it being like fun. Well, it's still fun, but
Yeah.
instead of it being like a pipe dream or like maybe one, it's happening.
Yeah.
Like we are doing it.
Yeah, like after that first trip in Austin and then us being here, I'm just like, this is what we do. Like this is what we're meant to be doing.
Yeah,
And
bro.
as far as like figuring out the mechanics of like how to be a business owner, because creating just comes to us and we're figuring it out as we go. It's just the decision making of where to put our time and energy is something where there isn't a playbook that we can just pull off the shelf,
Yeah.
because none of these tools, none of this, algorithms, none of this stuff has ever been done before. So there isn't really a right or wrong way, but it's like having that true grit, determination, and belief in yourself to follow through with like a plan. That's like really what makes or breaks people. And especially kind of in this next year, with just the economy in the shape that it is, the opportunities that you have access to online, it's becoming more and more competitive. And the fact that everybody has a phone in their pocket, a computer in their pocket, anyone can make content. But there is something that I do think that really can help you set yourself apart, which is knowing yourself. Like really know yourself, and just you gotta listen to yourself on some things. Now there's always systems, there's always tools and tactics that are out there. There's always like how to do it faster. But I mean, you can get to where you're going fast and not feel like you can hold it, contain it, and you'll lose it. So it's such a marathon to build a personal brand and make content.
Yeah.
But it's just so. I should say the experiences that I've had alone, just like from putting a video out there, it's just been life changing.
Yeah.
So it's like I think it's the bigger the risk, the bigger reward, sort of in a sense. But there have been times where income hasn't been as stable as it should be, but it's like I'd be doing something, as it should be. However, it's like I'd be doing something like incredible, or I'd be meeting someone, or I'd be having lunch with somebody, and it's just like these amazing life moments. So it's like you can't really go off the money when you're getting started. It's really about, are you aligned with something you can see yourself doing for the next 10 years?
Yeah.
Because
and getting in alignment with your values.
Yeah.
Like what do you like taking the time to actually figure out like what you value and what energizes you, and staying in that flow and in that alignment helps with like the burnout.
Yeah. So and
Like-
I would say first two businesses, I definitely felt like I built them and they were the wrong business. Raven has been there through a lot of my ups and downs, the stressful phone calls, the talking me through it. But I knew I had to move, and it was going to be a great experience to do that, to keep my relationship going, and ended up moving to Washington right before 4th of July. So that was really special, being there and experiencing something completely new. And for my birthday, I actually went to Vancouver because it's super close, and that was really fun. And I really appreciate my friends Lauren and Shane. They really have showed me a lot of friendship.
shaking.
Oh yeah, showed me a lot of friendship, and really helped me redefine what birthdays look like. And I think that was kind of like my first birthday where I kid you not, I told my therapist, like, all I want for my next birthday is to have friends. Because I mean, I've just
feel
been
that.
so on my grind set
Yeah.
of building this business and building a brand and traveling and all this stuff that I looked up one day and I was like, I have no friends. And it sucked because I am still very young and I'm doing all these incredible things, but I had no one to share it with. So really taking the time to have, like, I'm talking like true friends, like friends where I'm not selling, I'm not
Yeah.
working with them. They're literally just like friends, and it's amazing to have them. We got to go on a road trip and eat food because they're my foodie friends.
Yeah.
We had great food, walked around the city, and that was a really cool birthday. And yeah, that month I became a Washington resident on my birthday, so that was really cool to celebrate that. And right after that, Raven came to visit. He came to visit in
Yeah,
September.
word,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, Raven came up there, so he came to Seattle, and that was really cool.
Yeah, we had like content like boot camp kind of
Yeah,
situation.
yeah, we
for-
did. We
for-
live streamed
for a few
We
days.
played with some new AI tools.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun, and that was really cool seeing like kind of the content house, creator house come
Yeah.
into fruition. And I think at that point, that's when I knew I was like, we have to go to Mexico City.
Yeah.
Like we were having so much fun. We were brainstorming. We got to experience new places. We went to a really cool church, and just I think just the blending of like life and work and like fun is just such a new way of experiencing like living that
Totally.
it's like we needed to do it again, and so that's
Yeah.
what Mexico City came into play. And I think that was just such a fun time. Like we got to hang out with people. You got to ride a motorcycle around
Yeah.
Seattle, and
Epic.
we tried out some food. Met up with Day, who lives there, and
Shout
she
out to
showed us
Day.
around. So that was just like a lot of fun. Like
Yeah.
that was just like a real cool moment. So I think at that point, as well, while I was in New York, I think Raven calls me up and he's like, "Hey, I just won the grant to go to Austin. Do you want to come?" And I'm like, "Yo, of course! Like this is amazing."
That part.
So we both ended up getting tickets to this conference that we both submitted videos. He ends up winning, and he invites me to come along in his win, and we had a blast. Like
Yeah.
it was so much fun. We got like this conference experience with all these different
Shout out
after
to Boys
parties.
Club.
Yeah, shout out to Boys Club on that. And that was cool. That was kind of like our first like true collab.
Yeah.
And I think at that point it's like I really started to take us seriously.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, man, we got to check in every week. We gotta edit. We're gonna figure this out. I'm gonna learn how to edit. Like it was like I just
You
was like,
definitely switched gears. 'Cause
Yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like when that came through, I was like super grateful.
Yeah.
But I have like a hard time of like taking a minute to slow down and like appreciate something that I had accomplished, I guess.
Yeah.
And you were like, no, dog, like you did this thing, like this is awesome. And I was like, hey,
Yeah.
you know what?
Yeah.
You're right. Like we are kind of crushing it.
Yeah,
right
no,
now.
this is awesome. Like
Yeah.
that was the coolest thing ever. I was like, that's my friend. He's a creator. He's a creator right here. Yeah, no, that was cool because it's like I got to be there. I was filming him and his whole interaction with being there. And like South by Southwest is huge, so
Massive.
we barely touched the surface on like all of the places we
Yeah.
could have gone to, but still just like being able to stay like super close to everything and get tacos and just stay up late. Like
Yeah.
it was a really cool experience. So we definitely look forward to being back next year.
Yeah.
Who knows what the collab's gonna look like, but
Yeah.
we're definitely putting it out there. And yeah, that was a lot of fun. And I think right after that, where did you travel after that? Because I think FarCon came up.
Yeah, FarCon was in May.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Yeah.
what happened with that? I feel like there was maybe. Oh, I was going to the Called Leadership Conference.
Yeah,
and
so you
that
went on
was-
one more trip. Yeah, you went on one more trip after that. And I ended up going back to the West Coast. I went to Bellingham for a little bit and Seattle. And I knew when I was in Seattle in January, I knew I was going to be moving. So, it's like that feeling of like, how am I going to balance traveling, building a business, and moving and a
Yeah.
relationship all at the same time? And